Okay, I'm live. Actually doing a live video instead of recording a video because my phone is just acting up and doesn't want to upload videos. And I have tried to make a review or overview video for the longest time. And now I'm just gonna do it in a live stream, get it uploaded to YouTube and get done with it. This is my initial impression of the Garmin Explorer 2. I have it for a couple of days now. It is my main and only bike computer that I own. I purposely choose the Garmin Explorer 2 over the many options out there after a lot of consideration. So I've done a lot of research on Reddit, forums, YouTube reviews and comments, and ask around with my friend who rides in Garmin 530. But in general, the feedback was the consensus is from all these bike computers, they all have their pros and they have some definite cons, and it was really hard to find out like what is actually good about the bike computer and what is bad, because so many negative comments are posted on YouTube and Reddit and Facebook regarding all these individual brands and bike computer models out there. So it's really hard to pinpoint what is good, what is bad. So to me, most importantly would be the navigation. I am very keen on navigation. I love to make bike trips to unknown areas that I just completely rely on the navigation of my phone or this device to get around, because I simply have no clue where I am, and I put my hands into the machine to make sure I get safely back home and enjoy the trip. The reason for that being is that I have a tendency to really easily flip out or get a panic anxiety attack when, for example, in the car, my family can attest, and the navigation, the computer and the car navigation basically is acting up, either slow with showing me turn by turn notifications, or suddenly recalculates a new route because it's on a road that it's not on its map, or something that just happens on the device itself. I lose track where I am. I don't know which way to go because I'm being completely tunnel vision, being following my navigation to my destination, and I just don't have any idea where I am, how to get back home, or what else, and that makes me super nervous and panicky. So because of my nature, my character, the navigation is super important to me. So I did a lot of research on that aspect of it. So I've looked at the Edge 530, 830, 1030 and 1040. 1040 being way out of my budget, being almost as expensive as my actual road bike, so that was a no-go. Then I really was gravitating towards the Wahoo Bolt V2 a lot, because of the display and the buttons and the rerouting, which apparently is quite good. The Garmin 530 and 830 were kind of a no-go because the 530 being very finicky with the buttons and the merit of menus on the Garmin devices. So I felt like that's not going to really work out for me. The 830 is already 3 years old and have, to be frank, a pretty shitty touchscreen in terms of sensitivity and whatnot. So I thought like, I'm not going to spend 300 euros on a 3-year-old device. So that was also a no-go. Sorry, I had a great ride today. I need some coffee. The 1030, also an older device, was looking really good in my price range, but I opted in the end to go for the latest installment that is directly derivative of the 1040. So it's basically a stripped down Garmin 1040, and I went for the Explorer 2. The Explorer 2 is, well, specifically designed for navigation, with navigation in mind. and it has some training features additional, but it isn't really a bike computer for people that want to race and want to keep track of all their stats and whatnot. Given that I'm on a very tight budget and my bike doesn't have a power meter, all those features on the 530, 830 and upwards from Garmin, or the Wahoo V2, the Bolt V2, or even the Karoo 2 wouldn't really be that much beneficial to me. I do gonna get a Garmin cadence meter from a friend of mine. I'm very grateful for that, and I will get myself a heart strap for heart monitoring, so I will be able to, well, at least monitor cadence and my heart rate on this device, which is cool. But I of course could do that on the more performance driven versions or bike computers as well. But from what I've been reading, in most cases, in most cases from Garmin's offerings up to the 1030, the routing and rerouting and the recalculation or rerouting was pretty shit. That's what I took out of all the feedback. The Crew 2, amazing device, $400, well over €100 more than this bike computer, and has a whole bunch of other features, but a lot of people also saying it does not have as much features as, for example, the Garmin 1030, and it's more like on par with features on the Wahoo Bolt V2, which is a $250 euro bike computer. So I felt like the routing, rerouting, and the navigation on said Karoo 2 is very much praised highly, but all the other features wouldn't be per se something I needed, and the battery life seemed to be quite low. Was an average 6 to 8 hours or so. Now I have something to say about the battery life of the Explorer 2 as well. I'm actually very happy with it. So yeah, so I've looked at all the options, went for this one, and I was very hesitant to see if this was a good device or not. So far I'm super impressed with it. The touchscreen on the device is snappy and fast. I mean, I can touch the buttons and it's very responsive. The touchscreen, it just works really well. Very happy with that, because I was expecting like super laggy, shitty touchscreen. Luckily, not the case with the Explorer 2. The navigation is fantastic. The rerouting of missed turns, for example, I missed a turn, or there is some road work or whatever happened on that particular road, I take a side road or whatever, and it really fast recalculates a new way to resume the course. It sometimes takes between 10-15 seconds to recalculate, but it's still plentiful fast enough for my person, as my character that I explained earlier, to feel comfortable with the rerouting process and just waiting for it to be completed, and shows me how to going forward. Loading the courses from Strava, I have done that so far. Super easy. You go in Strava, you go to whatever routes you want to save, you save them, you go to the Garmin IQ app, you click on sync, and it will sync the routes that you have saved in Strava on this device. It's super easy. I got a whole bunch of them here, and the intent is to write them all, and I'm very excited for it. This device actually makes me super excited to keep riding more, because at some point I was riding my bike and training daily without a cycling computer because I couldn't afford it, and since the route I devised was just a route that I came up with by just trying trial and error to see how I could drive around in my house and whatnot, it gets very boring, of course. So it's amazing that with this bike computer it's super easy. So I have set this device to a very simplistic format. I'll show you really quick. The first screen that I have, and this my start screen, is just simply the map, and it shows me the directions where to go to, how to follow my course. Oh, it's beeping because it's thinking that I'm not driving or don't want to save it. Let me get out of it because that's annoying. And my second screen is just showing my speed, average speed, how many distance between myself and the destinations, of basically telling me how far till I get to my to finish my course, and then the distance I have done so far. So really simplistic overview of the data that I want to see. I don't really have much more. It also will include the heart rate, monitoring, feedback, and the cadence. And that's it. I don't have a power meter, as I said, so I don't really need those metrics. So I can nicely fill up all my screens without any issues. And the navigation screen itself is just free of clutter. It doesn't show the speed and whatnot because I just don't want to get distracted at all. I just want to keep it really simple and to the point. Navigation is super easy. I only look at the screen from time to time. Mostly I rely on the beep, so it will beep at me 200 meters or 150 meters before a turn, and then it reminds you on the 50-meter mark again with another beep. Super loud, by the way. The beeps coming from this device, you might have heard it. They're loud. They're very clearly to be heard, and I really enjoy it. I wish I could put the volume slightly down, but when I'm riding this guy, I only look when the beeps are coming up. Okay, I have to take a left turn, or left, right, left, right. Maybe there's some zigzag roads going ahead of me, and then I have to pay a bit more attention. If there's a very sharp corner coming ahead of me, it will inform me over 100 meters there will be a very sharp corner to the left or right. So that's really easy to follow as well. What else? Battery consumption. I did a 2-hour ride today, 50 km, something around 2 hours. 50 km, it used under 10% of battery. I set the screen brightness to 50%. I don't need more to see this screen clearly. I tried to set it to 40%, but I felt that was a bit too much of a compromise in brightness. Maybe it's just getting used to it, but I think at 50% that's plentiful. So 10% for 2 hours use. I think I can get at least 10 hours, maybe 12 hours with my type of use out of the thing. Kind of curious to see, because once I start using the heart rate strap and the cadence meter, it will suck up some more battery usage, because you have connected device then, so maybe it will decrease. Well, it will affect the battery life during each charge. But so far really easy to use, and that's really important to me. I just don't want much crap. I just want to enjoy my rides, push myself whenever I have the opportunity to do so. Let's say long straight roads or whatnot, drop into my drops and push myself to max speed for whatever distance that is, that particular road, if it's safe and whatnot. It really depends on the situation, but I just pace myself. I don't need tools to help me for training and whatnot. So I will do another video in a couple of weeks when I use this a lot more. My rides so far have been really fun, really easy to use the navigation, and it works fast. So if you have concerns for that, I think this device is really nice, especially for the price, given that of course you have less options, and it's maybe not as feature rich as the other bike computers in the same price range, but the navigation is top notch. The screen is slightly bigger than, for example, again, the Garmin 530, 830, or the Wahoo Bolt V2, or the Karoo 2. So the size of the screen, maybe Karoo 2 has the same size screen, I'm not entirely sure. but it's a very easy and fun to use device. Now I have to say, I was very thankful that there was a YouTube video out there from a fellow Rec room later. I'm just making a video this way. My son, sorry. From a fellow Dutchie who did a 30-minute video explaining all the menus, tips and tricks, how to use this device, how to adjust your main screen and all the information views on it, etc. It was really helpful because, in all honesty, you really have to do a bit of digging to get to the menu and then go through all the options and whatnot. And reading up dry pieces of information from a PDF file, not so fun. So I'm really happy that he made that video, because it made it so much easier to understand how everything works, how to get to the menus, how to adjust it on the fly, even how to start and finish your ride. Because in the box there's no instructions, there's nothing, there's no pamphlets, no leaflets, no nothing included that helps you to guide you through the menus, which is just how everything goes these days, like your iPhone and whatnot. It's all the same. But I was not familiar with the Garmin software GUI, so it took me some time to try to figure out half of it myself, or a quarter of it. So with that video, I learned everything super fast, so I'm really happy with that. I think so far, again, this is the perfect choice for me, as in a bike computer. It's just so easy to use, it works fast, and as I said, it gives me all the comfort that I can safely go drive around. And another benefit is the USB-C port, since most of my devices are USB-C driven. It's easy to have the same stuff, same cable. So yeah, happy with that, happy camper. If there's anything else you want to know about this particular bike computer, leave it in the comments. I will help you to answer those questions. This particular video is not per se, as you have seen it, a review video. It's also not showing all the intricate details, because there's so many videos out there already. DC Rainmaker, a whole bunch of other YouTube reviewers reviewing bike computers and whatnot, and I'm just talking about my experiences with it. So hopefully that helps you in making your choice in purchasing either this bike computer or something else. So far I'm super happy with it. I also intend to do bike trips within Europe, so I need to have a good European navigation. So I don't know how well this is gonna work in other countries, and again I will update that in my video in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, and take care. Push the button. Oh yeah.